Shalom. First off, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. Something real quick coming from InfoWars. I think I originally seen it on another channel or another website, but this was where it originally came from. So it says Australia plots digital ID launch for this year. Okay, so as we know, the whole digital ID agenda is a primary enterprise that the elites of this world have in order to, in their mind, in order to get the ultimate power over the people. All right, using technology as the guise for digital slavery for all of humanity. So it says the controversial scheme could arrive as soon as this summer, and these things, are constantly, they're constantly doing stuff as it pertains to the digital platform and digital ID and digital currency, because this is a system that they are trying to, get in place while having this system still, running. But it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to completely, pull the rug from the current system that we are living in and what people are accustomed to, and then bringing forth this new digital a world, which this is why they have certain countries doing pilot programs and pushing out certain parts of it so that they could test it, see how it goes, and then be able to bring it forth to more of the world. So it says the Australian, and it's funny because even the whole when the whole lockdowns happen, and the vid, can't even say it, but the juicy jab and all that, Australia was one of the countries that was very heavily in the media for pushing the rhetoric of the New World Order. Okay, so it's no surprise that they are at the forefront of this nationwide digital ID. So it says the Australian government is planning a nationwide digital ID launch, which is tentatively set for this year. While it could be delayed for logistical reasons, it's clear that the government is fully intent on pushing a new digital ID agenda on the country. Having first entered Parliament last year, the digital ID bill in Australia finished its final stage at the end of January, garnering input from business and finance groups. The country's authorities are currently communicating with individual states. An announcement from the Department of Finance revealed that the novel system would empower users to select their preferred digital ID provider for the accessibility of both government and private services. Okay, and we remember always hearing about the public-private partnership, the PPP. Because really everything, in your day-to-day life is either, a private service or a public service. So they want a digital ID that can be used for both, right? Private and public. It says private entities can apply for accreditation to provide digital ID services under the Trust Digital Identity Framework, which is the government's recognition framework. As stated by an official spokesperson, the legislative step will set in motion the enlargement of the Australian government digital ID system to encompass state, territory, and private sector organizations opting to participate. And they're saying right now it's something that you can opt in, but this is once again according to prophecy, and everything that we go into always is filtered by prophecy, because at the end of the day, it's what the scripture says is that's going to stand. Okay, it's going to be how the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, set it up in the visions that He gave, right, to the prophets, all right, and in this time, the understanding of those visions to the prophets to make it plain upon the tables. All right, so we know that this whole digital infrastructure is tied to the MOTB, all right, in the beast system, where you won't be able to buy or sell unless you are interconnected, digitally in within the system. Okay, so it says the National Digital ID will essentially serve as a comprehensive version of MyGov ID. All right, so a comprehensive meaning it includes everything, right? And that's why we've always been warning of, you won't be able to have a livelihood, you won't be able to interact within society without this form of ID, because it's going to be, as it says here, a comprehensive. So that pertains to traveling, that pertains to medical, that pertains to financial, right? So all these things is going to be all the digital ID. What they're setting up is a ID where this one particular identification will be able to be used for everything that revolves around your life in society. So it says the version of the MyGov ID that Australians currently utilize for Australian Taxation Office, Centrelink, and Medicare access. The strategy to retain other digital IDs issued by other states' governments. An individual user will have the capability to create a multi-point image on a device to be validated against their passport photo or eventually their driver license. So once again, be able to travel, be able to drive, right? And they want to have it to where your ID is connected to all these smart devices, all right, which is why they're pushing for electrical cars. They're pushing to over here in Babylon, they're pushing to get rid of gas stoves, everything. They want everything electrical, right? These so-called smart cities, because that's an easier way to be able to control the day-to-day livelihoods of people. If it's all electric, then they have the kill switch, basically. It says official states that users need only establish their credentials once. Digital IDs often involve the collection and storage of personal data, including biometric information such as fingerprints or facial recognition data. All right, and that charagma is a biometric a device, because it's something that is going to be measured through your biology, because they're going to put it inside of you. All right, subdermal. This concentration of sensitive data can be a tempting target for hackers and cyber criminals. A successful breach could lead to identity theft, fraud, or even blackmail. Moreover, there is the risk of unauthorized surveillance and tracking. And they already came out, right? I believe it was the ECB, European Central Bank, the head of that, Christine Lagarde. She already came out and said that the CBDCs, will have some level of tracking. Not verbatim, but basically, you're not going to have, and it's not going to be anonymous. It's going to have a level of being able to track and trace, right? That was the whole rhetoric when the whole Juicy Jab came out. They wanted to track and trace everybody who had who had the dragon, right? So it says, where are we? Governments or other entities could potentially misuse digital ID systems to monitor individuals, like how they got over there in China, right? Social credit scores and things of that nature, without their consent, infringing on personal freedoms and privacy. And that is ultimately what this whole digital world, or a digital ID world, is all about. Being able to take away freedoms and privacy, because like how Klaus Schwab said, in the fourth industrial revolution, is going to be completely transparent, right? And no one will have privacy, and nobody is going to want. And they said only people that's going to want privacy are people that are, hiding something. So he said, if you're not hiding anything, then there should be no problem with you being completely transparent. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. Klaus Schwab. Yep, there we go. Total transparent. Let's see.
Cats will sleep anywhere, but with TikTok Shop, you'll find them a spot all their own.
History is truly at a turning point. We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected. In times of crisis, the role of governments is more important and more relevant than ever. What is also needed is a summit like this one to go beyond crisis management and to look into constructive ways.
Dans ce nouveau monde, on doit accepter une transparence, et je dirais même une transparence totale. Tout va être transparent. Et il faut s'habituer, il faut se comporter ainsi. Ça devient, comment dirais-je, intégré dans votre personnalité, mais si on n'a rien à cacher, il ne faut pas avoir peur.
They just started to say it publicly in front of cameras.
Are you kidding me? If you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to hide. Nothing ominous about this global elite German Bond villain quoting Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels as justification for his totalitarian dream. Somehow I doubt that Klaus would ever be subject to these standards because he no doubt has a lot to hide. Seriously, who elected this guy dictator of the world? Why is he always talking about these totalitarian measures he wants to take? Right out in the open and with very little pushback. Those who do push back are, of course, demonized as right-wing QAnon conspiracy theorists.
Dans ce nouveau monde.
So basically, as you see here, in this new world, we must accept transparency. So there you have it. And that's why they're pushing, for these digital IDs, because you won't be able to have any privacy when you have a comprehensive digital identification. Okay, so they'll be able to know all your whereabouts, right? And then where what you spend your money on, how you get money. They even want to be, they even want to be able to get inside your brain to know what you're thinking, right? They want to make your brain a safe space because apparently they say that your thoughts can be detrimental to you. So this is on the move. It's on the move, and there's so many things going on right now. But as the scriptures tells us that these things are going to come to pass because the words of Yahweh Bashim Yashar are faithful and true. So let's get this here. Second Ezra 15 verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All right, so these words are the words of prophecy. And as we see, the prophecy is coming to pass. In the end, it shall speak and not lie. So, with that, Lord will not leave it there. This was edifying and informative to the elect, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Keep watching. Stay in the spirit. Shalom.